4th of January, Rabbi Levitt, Pele, Yoetz.
Okay, good morning, Lou. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Good morning.
Oh,
You're echoing, Rabbi.
echoing? Okay. Oh boy, here we go with the widgets. I don't know what that's all about.
You're becoming quite the maven.
Okay, is that better now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's get our form here. Pele, Yoetz. Okay, so we are holding okay, so we're holding oh yes, we didn't see this last paragraph in Kima. Let's do this last paragraph in Kima.
Okay.
Standing just as a person is diligent. And we call upon Lou to start the reading today.
Just as a person is diligent and quick to perform the mitzvah of shofar, lulav, sukkah, tefillin, etc., so too one needs to be careful to perform all of the mitzvos of the Torah and more. A person is punished even more for not fulfilling the minor mitzvah, as the statement of our sages declares. The punishment for the failure to fulfill the mitzvah of the white tzitzit is greater than for the techeles, the blue-green dyed tzitzit. To what can this be compared? The king spoke to two people. To one he said, "Bring me a seal of plaster." To the other person he said, "Bring me a seal of gold," etc. A person who keeps a mitzvah will receive a great reward, especially this mitzvah, whose reward is so good that it facilitates yet another mitzvah of fearing Hashem.
Okay, so he heard this in the name of Rabbi Victor Miller, who used to speak about this with the tzitzis. So now I see really that it's a Pele Yoetz who says it. Let's take a look at this Gemara in Menachos. Even though we don't have Tchelis today, but the lesson that we learned from the Tchelis is what the Pele Yoetz is bringing out. This is Menachos 43a. This is
Okay.
Menachos is after Zvachim. It's in the Seder Kodshim.
Okay, let me go check it out.
If you happen to have it.
Yeah, 43A, okay.
Learning this Gemara about tzitzis, I figure I'll put on my talus.
Very appropriate.
43A.
Hey, oh, here.
Yeah, this is a very, very interesting.
Yeah, they're talking about on this daf.
On this, the name of the parak is Techelis.
Oh, how do you like that? It's
Parak
more
on
than one
Techelis.
daf then. Okay.
Yeah.
You know where on the page we are?
No, that's what I'm trying to find.
Yeah, I'm looking for. Hmm. Hmm. Does he give us any language of the Gemara here? Yeah, the punishment for failure to fill the mitzvah is of having white tzitzis is greater than for the tchelis. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I don't see it here. I'll be right back. 1 second.
I don't see it on Ahmed Aleph. I do not see it on Ahmed Aleph. Let me see. Usually, okay, you know what? Okay, Kima. Yeah, they also have Mem Gimel Ahmed Aleph. Okay, that's where we got it from. I didn't see it there. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
So we still didn't find it, huh?
No,
Okay, so what's it? The quote is the punishment. $43A.
Mm. Oh, boy. No. Maybe I overlooked it. Maybe it really is there on 43A. Hmm. Hmm. Sorry, I don't see it there. Not on, it's not on Ahmed Aleph. I don't see it there. I know it's right around here.
Okay, let's see what the story is, if we can. Okay, and the white.
Shekula mitzvah zu keneged kol ha-mitzvahs kulon. Wow. Isam oso zachartem es kol mitzvahs Hashem. Ah. Oh, I think I see it over here. Let me just read it before I tell you where to look. Tanya HaRabbi Meir Omer Godel Onsho Shel Lavon Yoter Mi Onsho Shel Chelis. Yes, this is it. You've got it. Sure enough, it's on 43B.
43B.
And you want to know exactly where it is.
Correct.
Uh, it's Tanya Hayarib Meir. It's in the middle. It's in the group of lines that's in the middle. In other words, you first have narrow lines, then you have middle lines, then you have about 5 wide lines on the bottom. So it's in the middle group of lines.
Right.
And it is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 middle lines from the bottom of the line. The first word in the line is b'mehera, yinatek. Achuta meshulish lo b'mehera yinatek b'omer koine malach Hashem saviv lireyav vayichal same, and then it says Tanya Haya Rabbi Meir Omer.
Got it.
So Tanya Haya Rabbi Meir Omer. Rabbi Meir used to say, Godol onsho shel Lavan, the punishment for not putting white strings on the talus to fulfill the mitzvah of having tzitzis on your talus. The onish for not putting on white strings is yoter me onsho shel techeles. It's greater than the onish for not putting techeles strings on. And what's the idea over here? So it brings a mashal. Mashal l'ma daradoma. L'melech basav adam. She'amar l'shnei avodav. The king tells 2 of his servants, gives them instructions on what to do. Le'echad amar havali chosem shel tit. To one of them, he says, "Bring me a signet of teat. It's made out of plaster or clay." Echad amar havali chosem shel zahav. The other one, he says, "Bring me a signet of gold." Upashu shneim v'lo aviu. Both of them were derelict in their duty, and they did not bring to the melech what he told them to do. Which one's punishment is greater? Avi Omer, I would say, Zeh she'amarlo avali chosim shel tit. V'lo hevi. I would say the one that he told to bring me a signet of clay, and he did not do so. Why is his onish greater? Because a chosim of teat, it's made out of teat. Teat is something which is more commonly found. It's more easily attainable than is one that's made from gold. And so too it is with the matter of tzitzis. If you have chute levan, you have white strings are more available and capable of being purchased than are techeles strings. So even in their time, it was not so easy to attain chute techeles, strings of techeles to put on the beged in order to fulfill the mitzvah of tzitzis b'shleimusa in its full sense. And mishum kach, it says she'eino lovesh afilu chute lavan. So therefore, the one who doesn't even wear chute lavan, a beged that has a 4-cornered beged, of course, it's chayav in tzitzis, and he fails to wear such a beged, white strings which are available. All you have to do is go to the store and you can get them. They're available.
Even on Amazon, you can get them.
Even from Amazon.
Yeah,
Really?
Okay, but then
Wow.
then you have to make sure that it wasn't made in China.
why?
You don't want to have tzitzis made in China.
Why not?
They're puzzle
Why?
because they have to be made lishma,
Oh,
made for the mitzvah of tzitzis. So whoever's selling, there was even my wife went to I don't know which store it was right now. I don't remember, but she brought me back tzitzis because I didn't have time to go to the store, and I saw on the thing it says it was made in China. So I said I can't. This doesn't help. Might have been cheaper, but it's actually more expensive because it's not worth anything. Okay, so
so in
yes,
other words, the point is that it's more difficult to bring techeles with blue than it is to bring techeles with white. So you're more guilty if you don't bring the ones that are white because it was easier.
right. So it's right. So in other words, the Pele Yoetz is saying the mitzvahs that are relatively easy to do. They're not hard to do. They're available to us in a certain sense. There's going to be more of a what do you call it? More fallout, more consequences for not doing them than it is for failing to do mitzvahs that are harder to buy and more difficult to do, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Yeah, because the Rashi says that he brings that the tchelis was this little fish, the chilazon, and it was not commonly available at all. This fish, and so it would just sort of like appear. I think the Rashi says even once every 70 years.
Wow.
So it was something that even they did not have. It was not so easily available, and so that's the story with the tchelis. Today, of course, they have tchelis in all the stores, but many of our great Gedolei Yisrael did not put on those strings of tchelis because I didn't ask them, but I assume that they didn't believe that this was actually the tchelis from the little chilazon fish, because apparently there are others that have that color as well, and even the Gemara itself mentions that in the time of the Gemara, there was a great confusion about the production of a type of a thing called kala elon, which was made from some other type of thing other than the chilazon fish, but it had a color which was very, very similar to the actual color of the chilazon. And they had a big problem with it, and they made tekanas about it. The Gemara is about this, so it's an old issue about the authentic production of tchelis. Okay. Then other people say, "Oh, what's the why? Why not? Maybe so maybe it's not, but maybe it is." So okay, you can do as you wish, but
I had learned that you need to have a Masorah to do something like produce techelis. You need to have someone teach you how to do it who knows how to do it. And if 70 years go by in which nobody does it, then you lose it. You lose the ability to have that Masorah until Mashiach comes. You ever heard anything like that?
Well, I mean, also in the time of the Gemara, the Gemara says that there was once in every 70 years. So how did they deal with that? They dealt with it. What does that have to do with today?
Well, if there was a gap of more than 70 years, sometime after the Gemara, in which no Techelet was found, and nobody knew how to produce it, then that would be a problem, because you don't have a living person to hand down the tradition of how to do it, and you can't go based on written records or anthropology. You have to actually have a human being who says, I learned it from my teacher.
Okay, so there's two issues over here. There's the issue of is the techelis authentic techelis from this chilazon, and then there's knowing how to produce it and make it put it on the tzitzis. My understanding is that the actual production of the techelis, if you have the chilazon fish, would not be such an issue. There's not as long as it's from the dag chilazon, the Gemara doesn't have a problem. But what the Gemara's problem was they're manufacturing from kala ilan, which is some other means of producing a dye which looks very, very similar to the dye of the tchelis from the chilazon. But not that the people that had chilazon, and we had the actual dye from the chilazon fish, but we're not able to properly produce the correct color because we don't know how to. We don't have a Masorah on the production of the color.
Well, I had heard that what we lack is the Masorah on exactly what this chilazon is, whether it's a fish like you're saying, or whether it's a snail or a mollusk. Exactly what is this thing? How do you identify it?
Okay, right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
So my understanding is that the people who use the tchelis today are relying on archaeology. There are remains of places where they made tchelis, and they found broken shells and so on, that they were able to piece them back together and say this was the animal that it came from.
I'm just looking over here when the Gemara mentions this kala ilan, whether Rashi explains what it. Somebody explains what is this kala ilan. It wasn't so clear. Wasn't so clear exactly what it is. All right. Okay, fine.
Anyway. I don't use the blue, because I'm not sure if it's valid or not. I have a set of strings with a blue thread in them that was given to me as a gift. But I don't know what to do with them, so they're sitting in my drawer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I hear. Okay. So that's the idea that comes out from Pele Yoetz. Yeah, you could. So that's Kima, and a little bit about being zealous and diligent and quick to perform mitzvahs that he said over here in this last paragraph. Okay, and now we go to a round of applause for Kima. We're standing and page 252. And now we go to Kriya. We ask, oh, here comes Alan.
Okay,
Alan is
great.
coming. Alan called me up to tell me that he was not going to be here on time. Kriya, go to Mayor, please. Start for
Okay,
us.
Korea is reading. Okay. There are several faithful readings. For example, the reading of the Order of the Sacrifices, Tehillim, Ma'amadot, and other similar readings that fill many books. The primary factor is the intent of the heart. A lesser amount with intent is better than a greater amount without intent. Each person should consult with a Torah scholar what would be the most important reading before the omnipresent for him, according to his knowledge and the amount of his free time. This is what he should read. How good and pleasant it would be for a person to carry with him a small book of Tehillim or Mussar work for moral perfection, so that when he sits in his store, he may read it whenever he is free. A person should pay no attention to the ridicule of smug individuals or Gentiles. There are already Gentiles who do this with their works of heresy. Why should we do any less? It is possible that a person who the fear of God has touched his heart will learn from such a book. He will merit much good and bring merit to others. The greatness of Torah is such that it will protect and bestow blessing upon him. It will be considered as if he was involved in the study of complicated halacha and as if he was learning the entire day. His witnesses will bring him merit.
Ah.
Hello, everybody. I made it.
Ah.
Sorry.
Welcome, Alan.
Welcome, Alan.
Morning, Alan. How are you?
Baruch Hashem. So what page are we on?
254.
254.
54, yes, around, okay, so we just did Kriya. And so this is a very, very amazing idea that he concludes with over here, the Pele Yoetz, that here you have someone who's basically a storekeeper, and so he's working. He's a storekeeper, and you might think to say, well, he's busy. He's busy every second of the day with his storekeeping, and he doesn't have any time to do anything else. So that's what he's chosen to do for his parnasa. That's the, how can you fault him? But the Pele Yoetz says there's times there's times he says that when he sits in his store and he's not doesn't have any customers and he doesn't have anything to do really. And so what's he doing during that time? Is he just going, like this on his I don't have a big phone like that, so you can't see, but he's just going like that. What, that's he can carry a little pocket Tehillim or Mesilas Yesharim, or I don't know if they have a Pele Yoetz, a pocket Pele Yoetz, and even he says even the goyim do that, so you don't have to be embarrassed. And with their with whatever books that they are reading over there, but then he says an incredible thing. He says that it's possible to say, it's possible that such a person, it's possible to say that such a person who does this out of a commitment to fulfilling the word of Hashem whenever he can possibly do so, and that you see that he does, because when he's not involved in his work, which he's allowed to do, of course, that's his obligation. But when he's not involved in that, he takes out his little sefer and he's reading from that sefer. He says that it will be considered as if he was involved in the study of complicated halachas. And as though and not just simply saying Tehillim or reading Musar, but which involved great mental exertion to all the details and figuring out what everything and to plumb the depths of the sforim in order to arrive at the halacha. It's regarded as though he's involved in doing such a type of learning, and that not only that, but it would be regarded as though he's learning the whole day. Amazing, because you see that's what he wants to do when he's not required to engage in his occupation, which we say he's certainly allowed and maybe even required to do, because he has to have parnassa in a derech hateva way of doing things, and that's the way to do it, to have a store and make money by buying things cheap and selling them expensively. That's the way to do. That's the way to do it. Okay. Wow, I always heard people say this, but I never saw it in the sefer. But here we have it, right in the sefer, right here. This is what he says. This comes from the Pele Yoetz. Because why should it be like that? We can understand that we can be like that. We see that this person really wants to. He would, if he had his druthers, so to speak, maybe he would spend much more time involved in study, and he would be able to attain a level of study that he would actually be able to involve himself in complicated halachas and plumbing the depths of halachas, and so therefore that's where his heart is, and we know that Hashem desires the hearts. Rachmana liba boy. So there we have it from the Pele Yoetz. Okay. And a round of applause for Kriya. I don't know why he didn't mention in Kriya over here Shnai Mikra Targum, which is brought in the Shulchan Aruch as it's not just in the Shulchan Aruch, it's brought in the Gemara as a binding obligation. And not only that, but the Gemara says that we saw that in the Pele Yoetz, that it provides arichas yamim, long life, someone that takes the time to learn the Shnai Mikra Targum. So he should have he could have an art scroll Chumash with Rashi over there. And when there's nothing to do, there's no business, he takes it out, and he's got his marker over there, and he can learn one pasuk, say over a pasuk, say it over 2 times, read the Rashi, and he's tremendous. Okay. Next time you're waiting in line at the ATM machine, there's a story that a couple weeks ago they phoned it in. Here it happened in Eretz Yisrael, and there was a says over the life of Bitochen, and he called him in with this story. He really needed to get somewhere, and he really needed to do something, and he didn't have time to wait, but he needed money. So what's he going to do? He's going to go to the ATM machine, right? But you go to the ATM machine, he says there was 2 ATM machines over there, and there was 2 long lines by the ATM machines. You ever wait for somebody by an ATM machine? Sometimes you think that they're taking, what do they got to take so long for? You just push a couple of buttons, and then they take out your money, and that's it. Or you put in the money, you're making it, whatever it is, it should take 2 minutes. I ever saw anybody take 2 minutes to do it. They take at least 10 minutes. I don't know why. Anyway, that's another matter. That's just a pet peeve. But so what happened with this story? So he goes over there. He stands in one of the line, and he says, Hashem, I know you're the one who's in charge over here. All these people are I don't put them in the picture. They're not the ones that are keeping me from being able to get to the ATM machine to take out my money and go on my business that I have to do right now. You're the one that's in charge. So all of a sudden, somebody and the guy that's in the front of one of the lines makes an announcement. He says, this machine is not working. Oy vey. So what happens?
Everybody gets out of line, and he went forward and found out it was working.
All the people get out of line, right? And they go into the other line. And now you got one line that's twice as big as it was before. And he walks over to this machine, and everybody's looking at him and saying, what is this stupid guy doing? Doesn't he believe the guy that just got through shouting and saying, this machine doesn't work? So he goes over to the machine, and he says, Hashem, I know that you can make this machine work. So he puts in his card, he pushes all the buttons it needs to push over there, and boom, out comes the money. And then after the money comes out, he sees a sign on the screen of the ATM machine that says, this machine is out of order.
Wow.
Wow. That's Hashem.
So
It's all these little things that keep us going, right?
yeah. Well, what I was about to say, all those other people, though, they're waiting in line for the ATM machine, right? They don't have to be talking that this guy does. So but they could have their art scroll Chumash over there, a little pocket art scroll Chumash. And here they're waiting half an hour to get to the ATM machine, but they got a half an hour of learning Shnayim Mikra Echad Targum. What do they don't have to sit there with going like this with their phone or staring into into oblivion. They got plenty of things to do. Right? Okay.
That's right. Okay, I think it's time.
Now it's time. Okay, we passed the time. Okay, another note for Mayor.
Okay, very good.
Hooray for Mayor.
Everyone should have a good day. Okay, all the best.
For the afternoon.
Okay, very good. Bye now.
We'll be back soon.
Okay, sounds good.